Okay, hello, hi everyone. So we have Shrikant here with us. Shrikant is a senior principal software engineer at ConnectWise, and he has massive years of experience in QA field. I will be going through his experience. He started his QA career almost in year 2002, and my birth year is 2001. So you can imagine how much year of experience he has in the terms of QA. So, Shrikant, would you like to tell us about how your QA journey is, or a little bit about yourself, short description?
Okay, thanks, Mohit, for inviting me to this discussion. Um, so it's a pleasure to discuss and have some knowledge transfer to the new folks. So after in my engineering, I was a government employee, and then for some reason I wanted to, quit that, and I wanted to move to software industry. So then I have done one course in embedded system from Pune only, and then in and around I was in embedded software development first, the DSP development, digital signal processing. But then I was there for 2 years, but for some reason it didn't work out. So then I researched in the market that what are the skills I can learn a bit. So naturally, it went to testing because it was not that much hard, and then I can at least survive for for a good number of years, and then maybe something else I will do. But then when I joined testing, I thought that is interesting, and maybe I'll continue the same for almost, let's say, lifetime. And today also same thing. So after this embedded system short, I would say, sway, I went into software testing. So I did testing for embedded systems only, like set-top box. So if you see the Tata Sky set-top box, I
Mhm.
was in one company. They were the smart card providers for the set-top box. So I did the actual testing for the smart card and the actual set-top box. Of course, it was one project for Tata Sky and then some other project for the same company, but for France.
Okay.
So after that, it was a hardware testing basically. The actual set-top box, I used to take the remote and do a lot of actions. Then came the phase of automation. So it was time consuming as usual, and manual testing has a lot of other negative points, but yes, that is mandatory. Then the company thought that, okay, well, how can we automate it, because it's time consuming, it's gross errors are there, human errors. So then they introduced some of the tools. It was again little bit hardware based, and then some software. Then after that, I went to full-fledged software testing, because what is happening is hardware testing is good, but then there are not many companies in hardware related things. That I was in Bangalore. So then I did one software testing course in Bangalore, and then joined different companies. So again, it was different domains. I have experience in telecom domain, then education system domain, recently a CRM domain. So multiple domains I have worked. Yeah, that is a short introduction.
Yeah. So this course that you did, it was based on automation testing, was
Yeah, so it's not like pure manual testing. Manual testing plus the website, I mean the UI automation and
it?
the
Okay.
API automation. Then later it came to like database automation and then mobile app automation, and now
Mhm.
there is full-fledged full stack also in automation.
Okay. So it's been almost 18 years since you are in this industry. So how was it like 18 years before, like when you started? What was your first thoughts when you started out this as your career?
See, 18 years back, it was almost nothing. I mean, there's not much hype in the IT. Of course, there was some, discussions. And so in my time, there were main branches were like, mechanical and production.
Hmm.
That is evergreen branch. But then I
Hmm.
chose to be into electronics embedded system. So that time embedded system was a big hype. Slowly, this software and the mobile devices and the internet boom came into picture. And then when the company started understanding the benefits of automation, like basically cost and time saving, then this all started. So then this website came. Then Google introduced that tool called as Selenium. It
Hmm.
was again one engineer had a thought like, why can't we do automate this? And from there it all took a good speed. That the with the portal or the website we can automate. And then came the speed was very fast. Then the automation, then Java. Python libraries came into picture, and then slowly it picked up. But once it picked up, then it covered a lot of things like UI, API, database,
Mm.
performance, many other things. So in my time, yes, it was not the initial scope, but then later as the market picked up, there were requirements and then there were courses available, so I went for it.
Oh, so as and when time grew, you chose this career. First, you started it as a normal thing, and then you went deep and deep and understood more about technologies and gradually grew up in the same environment.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And how was it like? Was QA easy for you when you started, or was it cumbersome? Like, what was your first thought that when you entered? Like, how did you felt when moving from your college to corporate journey? How was it?
Yeah. So college to corporate journey, it was not, I would say, a little bit surprising
Mhm,
because I was working in a government organization and then directly into the software or private companies. So the
mhm,
approach was different. People were very helpful.
mhm,
People were try to cooperate to each other. Uh, so it is basically one common goal in the team, and then how everybody can support each other and of course do their own work to support each other. So that was the and that is there in many of the companies. Especially I'm lucky that I worked on mainly majorly product-based companies. So product-based companies and service-based companies, almost a different approach, very different approach. Product-based companies, they have a product, and then starting from top to bottom, everybody wants to deliver a great product, so that of course they'll make a good sale and those things. But then that is what matters. Service-based companies, they have their client, and whatever client says, they will get the work done, and they will build it. Of course,
mhm,
there are processes and CMM level those things, but then also as on today also it's a different approach. So service-based companies try to get into it maybe at a later stage. So
mhm.
probably let's say initial 9 to 10 years, or even more than that. If you are hardcore in product-based companies, you will always have an edge on the service-based companies employees.
Yeah, I have heard that service-based company only try to maintain SLA so that it does not get breached, but product wants to deliver a good product so that their revenue keeps coming in. I think, yeah. Other than
Yeah.
that, what are the things that you think you should have learned in college that could really help the in QA role? So we are thinking of this podcast from early talent or people who are graduating from the college from that point of view. So what do you think a student who is graduating fresh out of college should learn if he wants to move into QA or sees as a growth career?
Hmm. Okay, so good question. I don't want to, compare the things which are at my time. So maybe at current
Mm-hmm.
time, whatever is available,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll put, more focus on that. So
Mm-hmm.
see, be it a fresher, be it a 10-year experience, and be it a 15-year experience,
Mm-hmm.
what actually matters is the mindset, right? So the mindset of a software testing person is is very different from a developer.
Mm-hmm.
Developer, typically based on my experience, thinks of a happy path. Okay, I will develop my code, I will get an input, I will process something, and I'll get an out. I'll give you this output. Okay, it's a
Mm-hmm.
very happy path, and most of the time it works. Okay, I would say 95% time it works. But then I'll give you a real example. There are traffic rules in every city.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Mm-hmm.
people are following traffic rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
True.
many people are following happy path. Yes, they will stop at signal and they will
Mm-hmm.
red, green, yellow. So they will, that like that they will follow. But many people don't follow. So what
Mm-hmm.
happens in this kind of condition? What happens if there's a chaos? What happens if something breaks? Okay, or if so these are the breaking make or break scenarios. This is the mindset of a software testing person. So again, I will say that the software testing person, I would say, even I will go one step ahead and I'll say, it's a bread and butter for a software tester. If the software testing person is not finding any bugs, then it's of
Mm-hmm.
no use, right? So mindset is to break the system. So the intention is that you be the devil's advocate, you be the end user. Let's say you're downloading any payment app, or let's say Uber. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
have booked some cab, but actually the request has not gone to backend, right? And you're waiting, okay, where is my cab? Or the payment is done, money is deducted, but the vendor is saying, I don't receive the money, so I will not give you the item, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the end to end flow, I mean, the mindset should be that how quickly, in a better way or in a simplistic way, how can I as a tester find a defect, right?
mm,
And of course
mm,
it should be realistic. It's very very less chance that develop or a normal user will go to backend and make some changes from the UI or from the things which are available to that person. How best, how easy he or she can find the defect, right? So that is the first thing,
mm. Yeah.
right?
Just on a
Again,
fun. Mm. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
go on. No, no, go on, go on.
to sub yeah, to support this, again, some common skills like analytical and logical mindset, attention
Mm-hmm.
to detail, and out of box thinking. So this comes maybe part two, but first thing is, that the mindset. Yes, tell me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, from a general point of view, is there a conflict in normal scenario between a developer and a tester because he's trying to make the code and tester is trying to break the code? So, is there a conflict situation that comes out when the team goes on working on their own because both have completely different type of agenda? So, what is your perspective on that? You are on mute.
Uh, yeah, it is 100% the case, right?
Yeah.
And that is where the the conflict management comes into picture.
Mm-hmm.
Tester will say that, or the QA will say that, okay, I will do testing in whatever way I want, right? Okay, yeah, there's a full freedom because he's acting as
Mm-hmm.
end user. But then given the constraints,
Mm-hmm.
given the requirement, what is coming from the management or from the product owner, or let's say any authorized person, that this is what we want to achieve, and
Mm-hmm.
this is where, for example, this is the screen user will land on, let's say on payment screen, and then, sorry, and then user will get some 4 5 options, right? Let's say
Mm-hmm.
credit card, debit card, online payment, or those things. Then if there are, it is decided that there will be only 4 options, and if user clicks on any of the option, then the relevant screen should be shown, right? So
Mm-hmm.
based on that context, only the testing has to be done. So if there is a conflict, yes, then we should, developer and QA both should sit together and try to understand what is the requirement given.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the requirement, if the testing is happening and the steps are correct, but there is a defect, of course they have to accept it. Based on the steps, if the QA is doing something out of the box which may not be valid, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then that is not a valid testing. So that is where
Okay.
mostly the conflict is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, there will be some hidden requirements, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
was telling, let's say there is a form, and then the requirement is I will fill all the details, and then the submit button should be enabled,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it is obvious that I fill all the details, and then submit button should be enabled.
Mm-hmm.
But developer may think that, okay, I will fix the 4 fields related, some mandatory parameters, non-mandatory
Mm-hmm.
parameters, but submit button is not something in my scope.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a different. That is not acceptable. I am
Okay.
as an end user, you as a
Mm-hmm.
developer, we are delivering a good product for the end user. So
Mm-hmm.
if it is not your responsibility, it's a conflict, right? So let's talk to higher authority and then get it resolved.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Understood. Yeah. Um, Again, speaking from a fresher point of view, what do you think if a student or a recent early career is graduating out of college? Should he look at QA as if he is getting a job in a QA? Should he look towards it or should he wait for a better opportunity or go into development? What are your thoughts on being early adopter in early career of life as a QA?
Right. So, being from the, QE background, almost spending 15, more than
Mm,
15, 18 years, I would say this is again a good choice, that, you go for quality assurance or software testing part.
mm,
But having said that, you should have a little bit background. See, in most of the colleges and curriculums, most of the time they are teaching the programming skills, which is
mm,
useful for more from a software development perspective,
mm,
right? So we have programming language Java, Python, and maybe other languages. But if you see going forward, we have automation development also, which is done in Java and Python, which is
mm,
the
mm,
two popular languages. Even there's C Sharp also. So
mm,
this is also one of the good career path if you choose. And then not only doing manual testing, but then if you do a simple, let's say 2 to 3 months preparation in automation also, that will be a very good point to make an impression that when you join or when you're giving interviews, you can already say that I have not only manual testing exposure, I have also done actual automation.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
and nowadays there are many sample websites or many YouTube videos where they can actually go and learn. No need to do any course. They can actually go and learn, and they can present it to the interviewer. So it's a good choice.
Mm.
to join the automation, I mean the software testing career.
Yeah. Also for people like who are not coming from computer or bachelors of engineering, like they are coming from chemical or mechanical, is it possible for them to grasp QA quickly compared to development? Because development requires a bit of more robust knowledge of computer engineering or software engineering as compared to QA, because there is a limited scope of means the scope is limited to QA or the environment is smaller compared to development. So is there a entry barrier level lesser than compared to developer? Do you have any thoughts on the same?
See, obviously, if you are from a different stream, okay, let's say
Hmm.
you are from, for example, metallurgy, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that has nothing to do with the software thing and all. So that
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
totally different stream, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But then having said that, I don't think there's a limitation. It's just
Hmm.
that you have to have correct mindset and then try to
Hmm.
understand what goes in. Let's say you want to join as a manual testing. So there is a portal, there's a website, or there's a backend system, front end system, mobile app, or even database. So try to understand those basic things, and then so we should show some enthusiasm and actually do some work. Then definitely there's a chance. Even in many of the companies I have seen, they like one special company in Chennai, when I was in Chennai, they don't prefer engineers for software testing.
Oh,
They prefer BSc or even the non-special software testing background, non-special software engineering background. They prefer let's say non IT or non-computer background,
why so?
specifically that. Probably they might think that it's a different mindset, uh,
Okay.
because software engineering you might have bias to development or programming.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
having said that, that's not the stopping point. They might
Hmm.
prefer, some companies prefer like this, totally different approach. It's a manual testing. And so initially, obviously, nobody will, take a risk to, give you an automation job. Let's say you start with manual testing, and once you show some good confidence, slowly they will, give you, okay, do this programming, do this Java or Python. Then what do you think of, UI automation, API automation, and that's how you grow.
Understood. Understood. Oh, okay. And do you think there comes a staggering point in the life of a QA, as in when he is progressing, or is there a linear growth, as in like from developer you are intern, uh, associate developer, developer, senior developer, and then architect? How is the life cycle of a QA? Like how does it go?
Yeah, I would not say staggering at any point of time. It is
Mm-hmm.
what you learn and what you grow. Okay, there are
Mm-hmm.
10 tools available, so you try to understand and grow, and then show your skills, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then having said that, what work you can show in your current company or externally, like like we can make YouTube videos, like for example, you tested some website, and so let me tell you, there's something called as bounty program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, so people from different background, they can find out defects. Let's say, how do you crack the Facebook authentication or even Gmails? There are a lot of programs where they're earning, in let's say $10,000 as a what do you say, fees to report defects. And people
Mm-hmm.
from normal background have reported defects. Just it's mindset. You see something and then it click to you, and then you report it, right? So coming to the earlier part, the staggering thing,
Mm.
it is no limitation, it's all in your mind. Okay, it's all in your
Okay.
mind. So you try to understand what is the need of the hour. Okay, maybe
Mm-hmm.
current, and maybe you can anticipate within next 3 4 months or 1 or 2 years what is going to come, right? And nowadays, because of AI thing, you can chat with any of the AI tools, and you
Mm.
can understand the trends also. Okay,
Yeah.
just go
True.
to Gemini or ChatGPT or Cloudy, and then you can understand what could be the current trends, what are the new trends. Maybe you can do a couple of bucks a course in Udemy or whatever, and you can increase your skills, and you can actually show your skills that okay, you have done this course, you have already tested 1 or 2 mobile apps or any other websites, and
Mm-hmm.
you should go ahead. Okay. One other thing I will tell you, I mean, I'm not boosting myself, but
Mm-hmm.
when I did this automation, when I learned automation, I did automation for different types of websites on my own,
Mm-hmm.
like
Okay.
ticket booking,
As a project.
as, as a personal project.
Okay. Good.
Okay,
Acha. Yeah. Yeah.
search engine, ticket booking, I would say uh, airlines booking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then the educational websites, the
Yeah.
insurance website, banking website. So I actually did that automation. It's there on my channel, and then
Mm-hmm.
people can see that. Okay, and it's very different approach I've done. So what happened is, that acted as a good point for me to showcase in the interview that on my
Mm.
own I did this.
Okay, understood. Yeah. So similar concept goes into development also. So before, if I want to go into interview, we already create a dummy project or a personal project is what we call it on the GitHub and keep it there so that when we go to interview, if I've not worked on any real project, this is a project that I have made of myself and it's presentable like it has authentication authorization which I have implemented, which shows that I am capable of implementing it in the real world scenario. So this is similar to that. Means you are portraying that I am
Exactly.
capable of doing that and I have did it on my own. So if I enter your company, this is something that I've already done. I would be able to replicate it on your system as well, kind of similar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, don't limit yourself.
Mm,
Do like coding, go to even nowadays, this lit code and those things, you can give your
mm,
ranking,
mm,
even your Stack Overflow ratings,
mm,
right? So
mm,
everything matters, not don't limit to, development. Automation also, there are many things going on. So the more you present yourself, the more you showcase your stuff, LinkedIn, you give some relevant posts, right? How do
mm,
you make automation better? So
mm,
these are the things which you showcase. Then your probability of, getting noticed, being in the community,
mm,
in the interviews also, and for that matter, everywhere, you will be in demand. So
mm, mm,
that's how even I did, like maybe 10 years back. I knew that, something like this will come up. So I better
mm,
I be ready. So that's how I started. So that is the guidance. Like, you have to showcase.
mm. So you think this social media or online presence of yours on platform like LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, it we can help us to get job or at least make us get us eyeballs in our industry at least. So that it
Yeah.
is preferable to gets easier to get a job as well as you have a portfolio to showcase that this is something I have been consistently working on, which also shows your discipline for the stream.
Definitely, I would say that is a real boost. Okay, if
Yeah.
you see the CTOs and the people who are from technical background, they will always have their side hustle. They will always have their projects going on. They will showcase this in different forums. They'll go to
Mm,
forums. They'll talk about, okay, I developed this library. I developed XYZ library. This
mm,
was useful. They'll make it as open source.
mm, mm,
Many things are happening. Even if they
mm,
join, they will go to some meetups and they will showcase
mm,
their stuff. So
mm, mm.
that's how you grow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Mm.
how?
I have seen few of my friends who are shy to post on LinkedIn or Twitter, or they do not create. Even if they have worked in a good internship, they are sometimes shy to post it on LinkedIn. Do you have any message to convey to them, as in they should go social, or any word of advice? Because you have 18 plus of year experience and you have been consistent on LinkedIn and other social platforms as well. So, any word of advice for them?
See, I would not encourage them all the time, but I would show them that, okay, if you do this, what happens?
Yeah.
If you be in the touch, if you be in the community, you show
Mm,
up to the at least to the discussions,
mm,
participate.
mm,
Your chances of growing, of
mm,
course, not only financially, but in
mm,
multiple aspects, your circle will grow. You will be
mm,
in a good, you will be in a people's, circling with a good mentality. They'll be
mm,
talking about some additional stuff, so you will come to know, and then that is helpful for your career. So
mm,
I
mm,
would show them, this is the path. See what other people have done. It is your chance. You can also do this.
mm, mm. And what are the core fundamentals? Like in computer engineering, we have OOPS, DBMS. Similarly, there is SDLC, something that you might also have STLC or something. Any thoughts on this? Like, what are the key topics or key learnings that one should go through or is important when preparing from a QA point of view?
Yeah. So many people might have heard the software development life cycle, but then we also have a software testing life cycle. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
So that is a good point to start with. I mean, not just doing the manual testing. Then we have, requirement analysis, test case design, test case writing, and then environment setup, test execution. Uh, so those kind of steps are there. That I would not say, I would say, that is the starter point. You can go and explore, so once you are into it, right, you feel, okay, there is something interesting, let me try this. Okay, it's okay, you might fail, right? then you try something else. You try some more things. Talk to your peers, get some advice. Even there are forums also on many of the social thing. Then there you can post like, I have done this. Can this be a good thing, or where can I improve myself?
Yeah.
So you can do those kind of things. Again, there are software testing methodologies also. So
Mm-hmm.
one can, just Google like software testing,
Mm-hmm.
let's say functional testing, non-functional testing. Then we have integration testing, mobile testing, even now database testing, mobile app testing. So these are again a lot of lucrative fields, and I mean, if you at least have some 2 months, 3 months of experience, or 2 weeks of experience, if you are a college pass out or a graduate, everywhere you have your foot, so that will add definitely a value in your CV.
Mm-hmm. True, true. Understood. And if I think from a student point of view, sometimes students think that I'm lacking in skills and then they don't apply for the opportunity even if they see, because a job requirement expects more than they know. So should how should be their mindset? Like they should apply and start preparing for it, or they should wait and then prepare and then apply? Because most of the time I have seen is that students or recent graduates feel overwhelmed by seeing the job description of so many things are mentioned and I don't have even 40% of the skills. So any advice to them or how they should go about this?
See, definitely, it's a race,
Mm,
and there are people having experience which you don't have. Okay,
mm,
so obviously, in the shortlisting phase itself, you might get dropped. So
mm,
you have to start on something. You know, give it, let's say, 1 week to one topic, or 10 days to one topic. See how it goes. What is your confidence level? uh, Try to discuss with your in your community, hey, I'm trying this thing. Maybe you can try anonymous, or maybe you can try one to one in with your friends in your college or something.
mm,
At least try post something on the social media. I will not say like Instagram this thing, but let's say GitHub, YouTube videos, technical videos, or even you can go to popular YouTube videos where they are doing this, discussing about manual and automation testing. There you can ask some comments, put some comments to the person who is giving this session. I didn't understand this. Can you please, so maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but some people will respond. Some people will say, okay, there is some video extra. If you want to explore more on this, there is some discussion going on in GitHub. You can explore this. So there's a lot of things available. Okay, the only thing is, if you sit and be alone, nothing will happen. You have to start on something. If you
mm,
do delta change every day, you will reach at some point. Okay,
mm,
so maybe talk, see what are the job descriptions in common. Go to job portals and see for freshers or 2 year experience, what are the requirements. Break down those requirements. See in each requirement what is what is essential, what is important. Try to understand, learn, try something, and then that's how you grow.
yeah. I too believe in, there is a saying in Hindi, हाथ पैर मारने वाले का कुछ ना कुछ हो ही जाता, which basically means that you keep trying and then something will eventually work out for you. Yeah. uh,
Exactly, exactly.
Other than that, what is the tough phase that you faced? You have 18 years of experience, then definitely you might have faced, oh, this was the tough phase where I had to really think, or any such experience that you faced in 18 years of your journey.
Yeah, so very good question. And there's probably this is the only answer every software tester will give you.
Hmm.
It is the transition from manual testing to automation testing.
Is it? Yeah.
Manual testing is very simple. I mean, most of the
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
and people are there in manual testing for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years.
Hmm.
But once automation comes into picture, your job is in danger.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, it's not that manual testing will not continue. It's just that you can be easily replaced with a 2 3 year experienced person
Hmm.
with a less salary. Okay, let me be
Hmm.
blunt.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
you are easy target to replace, because there are people who can do manual testing. So
Right.
why you should continue your career in manual testing for prolonged time? So
Hmm.
you have to start on automation testing, programming. Let's say after third year, after like 3 years of experience, or even after 2 years
Okay.
of experience,
Hmm.
you have to do some courses, or maybe you can
Hmm.
try something online. Nowadays on YouTube there is everything available.
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So do some programming, Java programming, Python programming. These are the most
Hmm.
popular languages in context of automation, and
Hmm.
try to do actual automation. And of
Understood.
course, you will be failing. There are a lot of failures, but then
Hmm.
you will fail before the interview. You
Okay.
will fail early. That is what
Hmm.
is the expectation, that you fail early, you fail fast, so that when actual interview, actual when you have to showcase yourself, then you will have less chance to failure.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's how I have learned. That's how I know many friends, many of my friends, they learned, they failed, no
Hmm.
problem, but
Hmm.
they fail fast. They learn themselves, they upgrade themselves, and let's say out of 10 times they will fail, let's say 2 times, which is
Hmm.
acceptable,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So that is the challenging phase for every software tester to transition from manual to automation.
Hmm. Understood. Yeah, great point, great point. And when we talk about this learning, is it agnostic to any language, or you should go up with whatever you think is easy, and then once you have a proof of concept, you can replicate it across technologies?
Yeah. So coming to the automation part, the only popular languages right now is Java and Python. Okay.
Okay.
There is some JavaScript related tools are also there. There's a TypeScript
Hmm.
related tools, but those are advanced. Basic thing
Hmm.
is Java and Python. Okay.
Okay.
Probably there will be, let's say not more than 20 concepts you know to understand, and you have to do hands-on. Okay.
Hmm.
Let's say 15 concepts, right? If you're good with that, you try, make your hand dirty, you fail,
Hmm.
right? And the more number of times you fail and you recover, fail, you recover, fail, you recover, then
Hmm.
you'll have a good confidence,
Right. Right.
right? So that's how it should be. That's how it should be the journey.
Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah, good piece of advice. And if I ask you a fun question from the leadership experience that you have, what would be tougher, managing bugs or managing people?
Managing people is the tough one. If you
Yeah,
manage people, there will be less bugs.
true, true. And how is this transition that we talk about from manual to automation? Because people I've seen really struggle when they are moving from manual testing to automation testing. And then once you are a manual tester, it gets really overwhelmed that you are moving to a QA, which is completely automation. So at that time, people lose courage. Is this really for me, or should I just quit into corporate? People sometimes come to that conclusion because even when they are trying, they are not able to make it. So how should one set up their mindset to in order to transition? Because once you are on that other line, then your career is mostly in the right direction. But before this transition, it is kind of tricky. So any piece of advice for them who are trying to transition from manual to QA?
Right. Let me give you one tangent answer. It's
Hmm.
not that always a manual tester ends up into automation testing. Okay,
Hmm.
they might
Hmm.
continue for manual, and because of lot of roles available as on today, so you can go for product owner,
Hmm.
product management, where it is not that much technical, but then product you need to
Hmm.
understand. There's a Jira Confluence tool that you have to manage, and
Hmm. Hmm.
requirement gathering. So there are
Right.
people who are gone into agile also. Okay, it is
Right.
it is perfect. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
you can go that path, but then if you really want to be the person you want, like I started with automation, I am in software testing, I will continue this for let's say 20 years, right?
Hmm.
So then the phase, the transition you have to manage. And as I said, uh, learn programming part, because
Hmm.
programming part will have, if you have both the skills, manual testing plus automation, again you will have very less probability to get replaced,
Hmm.
right? So that you should have in mind. Okay, if you don't want to be in that fearful world, okay, I have, let's say people are having 8 years of experience in manual testing. If they go
Hmm.
out, they will find any job, so those kind of things are there. Okay, very less probability. So having that constant fear, instead of that, you just learn some automation, you show your skills, and in the same project or in the same company you can automate the things what you want. Or there will be definitely some leadership discussion, how can I get automation done, I can save time, money, maybe some resource cost. So that's how you should progress. The roadmap I already told you, learn some programming, some basics of 15 to 20 concepts max to max in
Hmm.
each programming language. If Python is very easy to learn.
Yeah.
There are Python nowadays taught in schools also. If you do
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
survey,
Yeah, when I was
So
in
it's that
college, at
easy.
that time it was in college, but now it has come to school also, I'm aware.
Now it is come to 8th standard, 9th standard,
Yeah,
10th standard, and
yeah,
very
yeah.
good programming.
Right, right.
So it is not that hard. So, you buckle up, do something, and try something, fail fast, and that's how you grow.
Yeah. So what learning I will take from is, if you have a strong mindset and you are willing to put in efforts, then there are plenty of resources available outside. You just have to get your mind straight and put in the work, and then you can transition into everything that you want. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. A quick piece of advice that you would like to give everyone, and then we will wrap it this session and then continue the second episode where we will go into more depths of how QA and everything works in this world.
I would again come to the same point that, have the QA mindset. Have the
Okay.
mindset to break the system so that
Mm,
once it is fixed, before going to the actual customer, you have the defect which is fixed, and let customer not find any issues. That's a very bad impression, right? So you being the devil's advocate, you find the defect, let it, get it fixed, and then you save your customers time, and of course, a lot of things. Okay.
mm. Okay, cool. Thanks, Shrikant. Thank you for the great session and for all the advice that you gave us. Hopefully, it will be helpful to many people who will be watching this. And I'll soon meet you with the another episode. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Yes. Bye bye.